Alrighty, everybody, welcome back to the channel. Row of Gilead here, back at you with another one of Row's Rampant speculation videos. And I think I found out why we have a Red Skull Blitz going on in 2024, gang. So let's talk about it. There's a theory that my chat and I have been kind of bubbling over today that we could see a potential Old Man Logan team in the not-too-distant future based on hints and things in the game. And while researching this, we actually found even more hints while going through some of the lore that this is a pretty good possibility for stuff coming up in 2025. Now, we're not going to talk about what teams they might be for, Cosmic Crucible War, anything like that, but I'm just going to kind of guide you guys through our research, what we found, what we thought would be cool, and then how it kind of ties into everything. So let's move out of the game real quick, and let's get on to our Old Man Logan stuff. Man, I really hate OBS for this. I mean, that's an edit. Alright, guys, so let's move into our Old Man Logan stuff. Now, in this universe, the villains will, they take over, basically. The heroes lose, the villains take over the world, and there's very few heroes left that can kind of stand up for themselves. They're not really heroes, they're more like survivors. And that's the universe where Old Man Logan comes from. For those of you not familiar with the base story of Old Man Logan, I won't give anything away of how it ends or anything like that, but might be a minor story spoiler. Old Man Logan goes to help Hawkeye from this universe, who we're going to talk about in a second, on a drug run to try to help him, save himself. And then Old Man Hulk comes and eats Old Man Logan's family. And then that spawns, like, the titular battle. And then Old Man Logan goes on a rampage across the country trying to, set things right. And Mysterio was a big reason why Old Man Logan became the way he was. Mysterio basically mind-tricked him into killing the entirety of the X-Men, which is really wild when a Spider-Man villain messes with somebody like, Wolverine or Logan, however you want to call him, in that capacity. Now, this is where we started, because we were thinking to ourselves, wow, wouldn't it be cool if they made a whole team based out of the Old Man universe? Now, I don't think Old Man Logan would be a member of this team because literally almost every single member of this team is either a villain or some kind of anti-hero. But let's get going with our first prediction. What we might be seeing added to this team is their Earth's Bruce Banner. Now, this Pappy Banner art's not what I'm used to seeing. I think this was from the second Old Man Logan run. However, there's, this bone skinny, come on, load there. This bone skinny banner here, is a super villain. And he's just a really cool part of it. He's a really cool part of the story. We haven't gotten a new Bruce Banner Hulk in a really long time. He's, the first villain in the Old Man Logan story arc. And it would just make a lot of sense, right? Hulk's a fan favorite character. Everyone liked this Hulk in this run. This was like the definitive final fight. Who would win, Logan or, Hulk? And it was a lot of fun. I won't spoil that for you. But, he has a bunch of degenerate inbred children, and he takes over a giant section of America, which we'll talk about later. And so he's a pretty titular villain from this run. And I really think if they do an Old Man villain universe team, that you'd have to include Old Man Hulk or Pappy Hulk or Pappy Banner, whatever you want to call him. I'm really excited to see maybe a new Hawkeye out of this. Now, I know we have regular Hawkeye, and I know we have Ronin. So it's kind of in the air whether or not we'll get the blind Old Man Clint Barton from Earth 807,128, right? I mean, that's a big Earth number, but he does play a pivotal role in the Old Man Logan original run storyline. He is doing drug deals and stuff for the Thunderbolts to stay alive. Yes, we mentioned the Thunderbolts. We'll circle back to that in a second here, too. So he's kind of like an anti-hero. And, we have regular Hawkeye. We have Ronin. But I think this would be a big enough change and departure to kind of create their own character out of him. Now, he was a premier superhero of the Avengers when the supervillains banded together and took over America. Hawkeye led a team of Avengers to Las Vegas alongside the Thunderbolts. to confront several villains, but they were betrayed by the Thunderbolts. All were killed by Baron Zemo. All were killed, and Baron Zemo killed Black Widow before sparing Hawkeye to torment him. So there's a Hydra tie-in. All right. We're going to keep going on this train. Let's talk about the world that this takes place in, America with a K. Now, what happens in this universe is Red Skull takes over America, and between his biggest allies, he divides the country into territories. So Red Skull is like the titular villain from this arc. And we have a Red Skull Blitz going on right now. And we just had what's probably going to be the final timed run for Old Man Logan. All right? Now, it's a little far-fetched. Again, this is rampant speculation with Ro, right? But you can start to see where these pieces are starting to fall together. And this is also where we get a nice reference to Battle World. Yeah, guys. America, as part of the Secret Wars Calamity, gets merged into Battle World. So we have a direct tie-in here, not only to the current Blitz, but the current upcoming event in Battle World. And it kind of ties into our Old Man Logan release timing. And we have a Thunderbolts reference, so it ties into an upcoming Marvel movie. Again, tinfoil hats, spinning too many plates, who knows, but this seems like it could be legit coming to Marvel Strike Force in the not-too-distant future. Just to kind of brief overview, this is going on in Earth 807,128. And in this universe, the supervillains united under Red Skull and defeated the heroes. Red Skull then divided the United States of America, renamed America with a K, because, Nazis, into several territories ruled by his lieutenants. Red Skull implied that the rest of the world has been so utterly destroyed that not even they wanted it. So, post-apocalyptic America. It's also a Donald Glover song, but, Childish Gambino. The countryside is barren, almost lifeless landscape, a chaotic and dangerous wasteland littered with gangs of bandits and monstrous creatures, dinosaurs imported from the savage land, and roam free and are kept as pets, and the moloids have sunk entire buildings into the ground in cities like San Francisco. So it definitely seems like this could fit into what we're looking at with Battle World. This Earth might even be like one of the playable stages. Could tie into some future villain releases, some future character releases. That could be sweet, but what could be sweeter is getting this version of Red Skull. Give me this. This would be if we're going to do a new character, this would be phenomenal. It's such a cool look. But I could see them reworking him and then trying to sell this to us through an event as like a leaderboard skin or something like that. This is something I could see people spending money on, right? This is a skin that I think Scopely would consider investing in, because just look at it. It just looks so badass. Now, moving ahead, I think that this is going to be a rework. I think we'll have 3 new characters in like Old Man Hulk, Old Man Clint, and maybe one of the Thunderbolts from that universe to tie into like the movie stuff going on this year and next year. But dudes, Red Skull as like the evil Nazi ruler of a destroyed America, that could be a cool storyline, not only for like a marquee event and a character rework, but also for a Battle World storyline. That would be awesome to add something like that. Now, the Thunderbolts of that same Earth consists of Atlas, Baron Zemo, Citizen V, Hawkeye. So again, Hawkeye, there's your Thunderbolts tie-in with the movie, get an Old Man Hawkeye, Mach 1 Moonstone, and Songbird. So I'm not going to dive down the rabbit hole on all of these Thunderbolts that half of us probably haven't heard of, but if there was going to be a third new character, I would very much imagine that it's going to be one of these characters here, because again, that would tie in with Hawkeye and the rework for Red Skull, and it would tie in with the Thunderbolts movie releasing this year. There's just a lot of stuff here that I could see them really working into the game as new characters. And we've been talking about Thunderbolts in the game recently because the movie's coming out here in the next month or so, but there's all the Thunderbolts characters that we're familiar with from the movie are already in the game. So this could be a really excellent opportunity for them to introduce some new Thunderbolts that aren't part of that movie squad to kind of give that team a rework and bolster them for the coming year to kind of highlight the movie and drive sales, right? Because that's the thing too, we got to remember, Scopely has to make money off of selling us these characters, so they have to be characters, designs, kits that we would want. Now, There is also a reference to Baron Zemo here. So maybe we get 3 new characters and a rework to Baron Zemo and Red Skull for this. And then I also want to bring up, lastly, as part of this rampant speculation, that there is a Kingpin in this universe, and it is not Wilson Fisk. It is a guy whose name we have no idea of. Let's pull him up real fast. I thought he was like a evil Luke Cage, but he doesn't have a name. So either they never revealed it, or he was such a short character in the series that he didn't matter. But he overthrew Magneto and took over his domain. There is a Punisher, Daredevil, and whatever this is. I'm not even going to click on it because we're not that type of video channel. But there are even more Old Man Logan hero tie-ins going on with this as well. So the speculation that we might have some kind of Earth 807,128 team coming in with some of these Old Man Logan comic run characters seems legit. You know, we have a Battle World reference, we have a Thunderbolts reference. Both of these things are brand new things in Marvel Strike Force and in the movie cinematic universe, respectively, coming out right now for Marvel. So there's a solid chance that we see some of these characters coming in the near future to Marvel Strike Force. I would love to see an Old Man Logan's villain team. I think this would be phenomenal. Give us a new Kingpin, give us an evil Hulk, give us a anti-hero Hawkeye, even more so than Ronin. And then, you know, we could rework some Thunderbolts. We could maybe be reworking or seeing a new Red Skull coming to the game. That could be really awesome. I think all of these characters, too, are characters that people in our community would be willing to spend money on, right? I don't think anyone would hesitate, if they had the money, to spending it on Old Man Hulk or on, you know, the new Red Skull for Hydra. So, you know, there's a lot of potential for sales here, both in events and, you know, tie-ins to Battle World, tie-ins to the Thunderbolts. I think we might have stumbled across something awesome here, gang. But that brings us to the end of our video today. Hopefully you enjoyed Rampant Speculations with Ro. If you did, make sure you subscribe, leave a like on the video. If you have other suggestions that might fit into these teams, please make sure you drop them in the comments. Again, this is Rampant Speculation. We like having fun theorizing with what's coming next to Marvel Strike Force and to the Marvel Universe in general. So if you have suggestions, ideas, theories that you want to contribute to this video, please drop them in the comments. I almost always go back and pin the most useful or interesting comments to help us kind of give context to the video and maybe even drive future content. But as always, friends, thanks for coming by. Long days, pleasant nights, and I'm looking forward to seeing y'all in the next one.